Hey, it's your boy, the Mighty Geburah here, back with another video. Now, today we'll be talking about how powerful Sonic the Hedgehog is, and hopefully after the video is over, you'll have a good idea of how powerful he is and what he's capable of. And I'll be using a few videos from other people, so that adds to my point, and you'll have a appreciation for them too. There's Blazing for Civil Knights of the Flames, aka True Scourge, aka Corrupt Demigod, and a few others. Yeah. So with all that said, let's begin. Okay, so we'll be discussing how powerful Sonic the Hedgehog is. But while we're doing that, we need to understand what the Sonic cosmology consists of. So, of course, we'll know what the characters scale to, what tier they'll be. Honestly, this is a very controversial topic. Some people call it theory, some people call it fact. It's strange, but we'll be talking about how islands in Sonic the Hedgehog create parallel universes and sometimes even contains them. Blazing is the one who found this piece of information, so credits to him. It's a 15-minute video. I think it's a 15-minute video anyway. I don't remember, which is faulty on my part. I apologize, but after you see this video, you'll have an idea of even islands being universe level and shit. It's crazy. So, I'll leave you to it. I'll get back to you afterwards. Now, from Blazing's video, there's something very important, and it's within these scans. Or, well, it's one scan, it's just zoomed in. Let me show you. So, as you can pretty much see, islands create different dimensions and they're contained within the island, which means that islands alone are universe level. And these special zones are subspaces and hyperspaces, so they'd be like 4D bare minimum in spatial dimensions. That's not even including their temporal dimensions, which would make it fifth dimensional. And that's pretty good. I mean, that's not even close to the highest tier that I have for Sonic, but you get the idea. This is on the mark. This is where we start. Next, I would want to talk about, let's see, what can I bring up? Oh yeah, the multiverse canonicity in Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, we ought to start with this. The Sonic OVA is a strange one. It's an extension of the game world, but is its own original story. And what's interesting is, it regards the UK versions of Sonic as counterparts, as well as the American versions of Sonic as counterparts. This is very good. The Sonic multiverse is very loose. It's not very specific, so you have to find the details in order to connect it all. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. What's next is proof the Sonic OVA is canon. Because people are gonna be like, what? The American counterparts and UK counterparts thing only applies to the OVA? Lamau, it's not canon. Yeah, Sonic implies it's canon in the Twitter takeover.
Ashley Chan 456 asks, I've got a question to ask all of you. Seeing that summer is nearly upon us, I've got to ask, what's your ideal summer vacation?
For me, a nice, beautiful beach, a palm tree or two, an umbrella to block out the sun, a boombox to play some tunes,
a motorized surfboard so I can splash water all over Sonic on accident, then go out of control and try to rescue a big owl guy.
I almost feel like we've done this before.
And yeah, that's kind of referring to this.
Hey, come out here, Sonic! It's okay if you don't swim, you should give it a try!
Just don't show off so much that you forget to look where you're going! What? It's probably nothing.
Sonic! Help me! Wake up, Sonic! Come on! Help! Help me! Wake up!
Shut up, Tails!
Then he splashes water on Sonic, and yeah, even if you argue it's not in the same universe, it's still officially recognized in the canon, so yeah, there's that. Next would be Archie comments. This one is a touchy subject, especially because people like to argue that Game Sonic isn't in the Archie multiverse, and this is plain dumb. Ian Flynn has said that it's in the multiverse, even if it's not canon to it. Well, actually, he says that it is canon to it, but not canon to the games, if that makes sense. Let me show you where he says it's in the Archie multiverse. So, right here, you can pretty much see it. He says Sega Sonic is part of the multiverse. Sega Sonic being Game Sonic, obviously. And here's where he says that the games are canon to Archie, but Archie isn't canon to the games.
You said Archie is not canon to the games, but said the games are in the Archieverse in an interview. Were you referring to a kind of Archie game Sonic in the Archieverse?
Oh god, how long ago was that? I think it's more of that kind of like a rectangle is a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square type of scenario, where as game material comes out, it needs to be incorporated into the tie-in project, you know? Like, if the games go in a certain direction, the spin-off material has to reflect that to be compatible with the main brand. So whatever we did in the Archie days was kind of exclusively within that bubble. But as Sega came up with new material, we would have to incorporate that into Archie. So Archie Sonic is not canon to Sega, but Sega is canon to Archie. That kind of.
And despite the whole canon fiasco, Ian Flynn says for us to treat every form of Sonic media as parallel universes unless explicitly stated otherwise.
Alright, our next question comes from the Imagine Breaker 121212. This is a very long question, so bear with me. I know this topic has been asked or referred to a lot. I've watched a Bumblecast like most people here. Well, I hope so, if you're answering this question. Or if you're asking this question. But I've gone through interviews and forums and can't seem to shake it together. In forums you say Game Sonic is a part of the Archie multiverse, but in real life, in our perspective, it is the base canon, whereas Archie is the center of it. In interviews you've said that Sega allowed you to place an adaptation of the games in comic form in the Archie multiverse to keep the consistency, like Sonic X, called Another Time, Another Place, which you claimed is in the same canon as the games, and we could call the Sega Sonic universe and could be deemed so. So in your own works in the description of Sonic Universe, of course, it is described as being another different world that's like and beyond what we know to the game world. There's also one more complication as well. Sonic Boom game/TV show is treated by Sega to be a parallel universe to the game continuity, like the Ultimates is to the 616 universe of Marvel. And in your run of Sonic Boom, it's a claim that the comics takes place in the same universe/existence as said game's TV show of Boom. And according to the sources I've read, it's parallel universes in relation to Archie, Sonic, Mega Man X, Zero, etc. So that would mean it's a parallel to Archie, Sonic, and Game Sonic? How does that work? They are their own thing in retrospect, but they've all interacted at some point or another. Is Sega being nuts again? Or was this an unintended map? Is Another Time, Another Place universe the Game Sonic universe? Is it another timeline? Can I just say, this is me, Kyle, editorializing here. That was one sentence for, like, most of that paragraph. So, Imagine Breaker, if I could make a suggestion, periods. The little dot that goes at the end of sentences, periods. You use a lot of commas, not enough periods. So, periods, please. Thank you.
It's a moot point since that book is over. But I'm not getting out of it that easy, am I? In terms of the comics continuity, the comics universe was the central reality and all others were offshoots of it. The Another Time, Another Place stories are all their own realities, even if they're very similar to the games they're based on. General rule of thumb, if it's a different form of media, treat it as a parallel universe, unless explicitly stated otherwise.
So there you have it. The Archie Sonic universe is parallel to the games, as well as Boom and Fleetway. and all the other forms of Sonic media. Well, there you go. Okay, let's talk about Sonic into the Fourth Dimension. Yeah, so James Wallace states that the Martin Adams book is set in the universes of Sonic 1 and 2, and that it's not really considered a parallel continuity according to Sega and himself. So there you go. Yeah, this will be important for later. And next, what I want to talk about is Sonic Boom, because people think that it's a separate canon to the games when it's not. In fact, there's sources saying that it's a new branch of the game Sonic canon. It's not there to replace it or make a new one. And that it's a new branch of the Sonic universe as well. Let me show you guys.
Sega.
Today, you will hear firsthand the grand plans we have for everyone's favorite blue mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic Boom is a new branch of the Sonic universe that will be seen in TV, gaming, merchandise, and more.
It's a parallel universe too. But I mean, that was obvious. It shouldn't have needed to be said, considering it's a different branch of the universe that the games are in. But nah. People wanna go for that extra grind for no reason. And Sonic Boom, it's a parallel universe to the Archie comics. I mean, seriously. So, I mean, even if we discarded the whole American and UK counterparts thing, I mean, Sonic Boom is a parallel universe to the games, and it's a parallel universe to the Archie comics, so it would kind of link the two in a single multiverse. But, you know, people are still going to deny it. And they can still cope with that. I'm not going to stop them. There's nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, there's that. Now, let's talk about some things within the Sonic cosmology. We'll start with, let's see, Fleetway. So, you have atoms being universes, them being considered small, but then it's implied that the only reason it's small is because it's not within the same space as a universe. And then these atomic universes encompasses different infinities. Yeah. Archie comics, infinite parallel universes, infinite variations of realities. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Extra dimensional worlds as well. So there's that. Then we have Sonic Boom, which confirms string theory in the verse.
String theory, super string theory, string cheese theory.
But I know what you'll claim, or what others will claim. They'll say, but Geburah, they said string cheese theory. Yeah, that's a joke. String theory is not a joke. It was actually mentioned in one of the episodes for making a black hole.
You see, particle theory is different from string theory, so my device...
Yeah, so he basically made a device that took into account the factors of particle theory and string theory and when to apply it. And this machine, it actually works. It's in the beginning of the episode, so you can't claim that that's a joke. The joke would probably be that it exists.
Behold my Eggs Boson Superconfigurator! I've accomplished what no other scientist has ever done!
Prove climate change is real?
Build a machine that creates a miniature black hole and makes broccoli taste like applesauce.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna start eating my broccoli! And simultaneously prove once and for all that I'm the greatest scientist who ever lived.
So yeah, there you have it. The sonic cosmology is at least 11-dimensional. There you go. And the next thing I'll talk about is Sonic in the 4th dimension, as it brings a lot of things into the cosmology. Yeah, like 5 million spatial dimensions, different points in time and space, beings of magic and imagination. These same beings of magic and imagination are implied to be Lovecraftian in nature. Probability waves / wave functions. Transfinite mathematics. So James Wallace uses string theory and quantum mechanics to explain Sonic's universe, and says that transfinite numbers came from Rudy Rucker's Infinity in the Mind, which is huge. But backing that in a bit, I asked if the book takes notes on all of these. He said what he wrote was informing what he read. So yeah, this is pretty big because in Rudy Rucker's Infinity in the Mind, space is viewed as infinite dimensional. Yeah, look at that. And this is not even getting into the transfinite numbers yet, which are implied to be Platonic in nature, according to George Cantor. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, since transfinite numbers are Platonic in nature, that means that even the lowest ones, like for instance Aleph 0 or Aleph null being the German term for 0, is autoversal. Versus Wiki puts it at high hyperversal, which I can understand if you're putting it physically as it occurs in nature, but it's actually autoversal. Transfinite numbers are not physical, they're metaphysical. But that's not even going into details of the transcendences that happens within the infinite sets and how many subsets there are that transcend the other, and what a power set does. I have made a doc on the tier of transfinite numbers. You can look at that in the description, and it's very interesting because it is high autoversal bare minimum. This isn't even getting to large cardinals. And speaking of large cardinals, Rudy Rucker's Infinity talks about transfinite numbers, but it also mentions large cardinals, which according to Versus Battle Wiki is high autoversal. And as I said, this is where it is in the Rudy Rucker's Infinity in the Mind book under transfinite cardinals. And this is when, versus Battle Week, he says that Inaccessible Cardinals is high outer versal. And Inaccessible Cardinals is the lowest in the hierarchy of large cardinals. It is the lowest. It's not like Malo Cardinals, Measurable Cardinals, or Extendable Cardinals, which are also mentioned in the in the Rudy Rucker's Affinity in the Mind book. So let's show it. Malo Cardinals is mentioned in the book. Measurable Cardinals is mentioned in the book. And finally, the Extendable Cardinals are mentioned in the book. Like right there. So, this is included in the Sonic cosmology, so, what I present in this video should make it very clear that Sonic is definitely no joke. But before we move any further, we need to go to Tier 0. See that? Tier 0 is described as being beyond the logical foundations of high 1A, much like it exceeds the ones defining 1A and below, meaning that all possible levels of high 1A are exceeded, even an infinite or uncountably amount of such levels. Okay, by this logic, a Malo Cardinal is boundless. Why? Because inaccessibility, hyper inaccessibility, hyper inaccessibility, hyper inaccessibility, and so on are not even able to describe a Malo-ness. That's yeah. And the Sonic cosmology has this, so yeah, the verse is balanced already, but that's not even taking into account measurable cardinals and extendable cardinals. Yeah, the verse is broken. Next, I want to talk about something else, and that would be Jungian archetypes. First of all, they're non-spatial and eternal. Jung uses archetypes as Plato's metaphysical ideas. According to Jung, there are many uses of the word archetype and that they are a paraphrase of the Platonic forms. According to Carl Jung, the unconscious is parapsychological and exists beyond the limits of space and time, while simultaneously containing aspects of spatial and temporal characters. According to Jung, the psyche nullifies space and time, as well as the unconscious exists in a state of spacelessness and timelessness. Again, archetypes are timeless and eternal. In the state of the archetypes and in the collective psyche, space-time categories are abolished. Archetypes are transcendental and are beyond the categories of numbers, time, and space. So, yeah. Inaccessible cardinals, Malo cardinals, measurable cardinals, and extendable cardinals, and numbers beyond that. Those numbers that are pretty much high outer versal to boundless? The archetypes would be beyond that, pretty much. And can't say that they're spatial temporal because it was made pretty clear by Jung that they are not. They are Platonic in nature at the very least. So, bare minimum, absolute bare minimum, it's outer versal. But where it really is high outer versal to boundless. Easily. And in the case of Sonic, there's this series called Knights, which is sort of related to the Sonic universe. And archetypes? Well, I propose that they're unbound by the concepts of space-time based on Carl Jung's books that Yuji Naka, Iizuka, and Oshima researched. And Yuji Naka liked the post. So that can be seen as a form of agreeing, since by definition, liking something is a form of favoring to find agreeable or that type of thing. So, yeah, that's where it stands in the Knight's verse, at the lowest. This is my post, by the way.
Sega.
We had numerous different ideas that we proposed for having a flying character, but the team members really liked the idea of setting the game inside of a dream world. Once we decided to go with a dream world, what we wanted to do was something that wouldn't just be some kind of fantastical dream, but more representative of actual dreams that people might have at night. I read a lot of books and other literature about dreams and the deep psyche in order to learn how to faithfully create an actual dream. There are a lot of books out there by experts. The primary foundation I used was the work of Carl Jung, but I referenced the works of several people who had done proper scientific research on the topic of dreams in order to construct the dream world and also the characters that appear in those dreams.
The psychology of dreams also features prominently in the game's new features. Persona masks, items that let knights capture the power of a dolphin, dragon, or a rocket, were inspired by famed psychologist Carl Jung.
One of his ideas was that we create personas or archetypes psychologically, and I always wanted to use that in a game. I came up with the idea specifically for Knights of using a persona mask. I wanted players to re-experience levels, go back in a new mask and find new things to do.
And these realms contain dream worlds that are free from constraints of time. So, yeah.
Responding to fan feedback, Izuka and his team created a new game area called My Dream World. Here, players can raise Knightopians in their own virtual sandbox, free from time restraints.
And Knights is a shadow archetype. It was legitimately stated. So, there's that.
The character of Knights represents what's known in psychology as the shadow, which is sort of an alter self. When a man dreams, he'd see his alter self as male, and when a woman dreams, she'd naturally see her alter self as female. In creating Knights, we wanted a character that could conceivably look both male or female, and so that's why we went with a gender-neutral character.
Now, the collective unconscious is actually mentioned in the Sega magazine. Now, I know what down players will say. This. According to Team Sonic's thinking, this is a dimension which exists close to our corporal, three-dimensional environment. Yeah, that's not referring to the verse. That's referring to the game. You'll see what I mean. The world of our Knights is a truly tri-dimensional world. However, if all the levels are to be played in a 3D space, the gameplay would suffer. Why were you so resistant to 3D? Because the TV screen is a flat 2-dimensional screen. We reasoned. You can't really get the sense of depth and perspective in it that a 3D game would require. How would you be able to discern between objects that were close up and those far away? We didn't think we'd be able to create interesting gameplay in a completely three-dimensional environment. So it's clear that it wasn't referring to the Knight's verse being 3D. It was referring to the game being 3D. Yeah. So this doesn't downscale any of the Carl Jung stuff. Now, you're probably wondering, how does Sonic factor into this? Well, Knights has appeared and has been mentioned in a lot of Sonic games. Like, in so many Sonic games, it's not even funny.
All the racers are totally focused on the race.
Emerald Cup. Choose your difficulty. S-Class. Character select. Knights. Saturn Mod.
Lamau, racing games aren't canon, bruh. Yeah, I don't know who told you that. But that is wholly untrue.
Ryoko Shion has a question. The racing games, like Sonic Riders and Team Sonic Racing, are they canonical? If yes, in the case of Riders, where do you think they would be placed chronologically?
They are, to the best of my knowledge.
We're not done. And then there's this from Project X Zone, in which Sagata Senshiro states you can't have dreams without nights. So yeah, every dream in the Sonic and Knights verse, they have archetypes of some kind. And don't say that Knights doesn't appear in Sonic's dreams. Yes, he does. In Sonic Lost World, I just showed you. So, miss me with that BS. Oh, and Sonic and Knights are friends. Yeah, just had to let everyone know. There it is. According to Sega, dreams come from psychology, the unconscious, and dream interpretation. Dream worlds are the mysterious world of the unconscious. Dream worlds are parallel realities. Dreams are implied to be dream worlds, since the description of Knights being imprisoned between the chasm between dreams is the same exact context used in another magazine which describes Knights being trapped between dream worlds. And if you don't believe me, it's right here. Right here. So dreams mean dream worlds, and there are endless dreams, as you can see in the translation. Now you're probably wondering how Sonic scales all of this. Well, it's pretty much simple. There's two ways he can scale. There's Sonic Shuffle and Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. But let's start with Sonic Shuffle. In Sonic Shuffle, there's this character called Void who destroys a thing called the Perfect Precious Stone, which is the crystallized form of everyone's dreams in different dimensions. This is actually stated.
For sure, we stumbled into a very strange place.
Welcome to Imaginary World.
Who are you?
I am Lumina. Lumina Frolight. It's nice to meet you. You're all here because you received my message.
What is this place?
Imaginary World. A world created from the dreams of those from other dimensions. This is the Temple of Light. This is where the precious stone was. It's the crystal that created this world.
Precious stone?
Was? Then where is it now? It's no longer here. It was shattered to pieces.
What's wrong, Lumina?
Lumina, if you don't mind, can you tell us what's troubling you?
Precious stone, a crystal created from everyone's dreams. The power of the precious stone makes dreams come true and is the essence of imaginary world's existence. Illumina, the goddess of dreams, and I are the protectors of the precious stone. We guard the precious stone so that everyone's dreams are protected. But one day, darkness draped the precious stone, and void. The precious stone was stolen by the darkness of void. And the precious stone was shattered. When the precious stone shattered, Illumina lost her powers and became a prisoner in a faraway world.
Void!
Void's power of darkness is transforming different parts of imaginary world. If this keeps up, imaginary world will cease to exist. Please help me. I need your help. I need to gather the pieces of the precious stone.
Hey guys!
Yeah!
Let's do it!
Well, I've got nothing better to do.
Hey, leave it to us! We'll help this damsel in distress! I'm Sonic!
Hi, I'm Tails!
I'm Amy. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Knuckles.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, everyone. Let's go collect the pieces of the precious stone.
And it was stated in the game that he was going to destroy everyone's dreams.
Void is heading for the Temple of Light. He's going to shatter the precious stone we collected. Hurry, we have to catch him. Stop! Why destroy the precious stone? Why destroy everyone's dreams? Am I alone? I am not alone. My friends, my brothers, I want to be whole. What are you saying? I was looking for everyone so I could be whole. And I found everyone, but everyone ran away from me. I tried to reach them, but
You sought the precious stone because...
I am so lonely. You don't need me? Then why was I born?
And Sonic characters can take hits from him as shown in the game. This is an enraged Void. All those feats of destroying dreams and stuff, that wasn't even his full power. Again, he is stated to destroy dreams.
Why doesn't the light return to the precious stone? Why doesn't Illumina return? We've defeated Void, the darkness that destroys dreams.
Yeah, so the Sonic cast being able to take hits from him and being able to keep up with Void puts them in high outer versatile to boundless. And next, let's bring up Solaris from Sonic 06. So in the Prima guide here, it states that Solaris would transform everything into nothing if he wasn't stopped. Right here. And Sonic beat him.
That body of light is the sign of a
It's all you,
superdimensional life
Shadow.
form. Standard attacks
Understood.
won't work on him. He eats
Silver,
dimensions
it's
for
your
lunch.
turn.
I'll take care of this.
There should be...
This is the end. Prepare to meet your doom. Good luck, Sonic.
Okay! It's all you, Shadow! Understood. A super-dimensional being. This might even be a fair fight. Silver, it's your turn.
I'll take care of this. Good luck, Sonic.
Okay! Alright, it's my turn! Let's have some fun, Solaris!
Good luck, Sonic. Is it over?
No, it's not over yet.
I guess it's not gonna be that easy.
Okay!
Is it impossible to defeat a superdimensional being after all?
No, something's different. Is it a large, powerful consciousness coming from Solaris?
What? A consciousness? That's his core! Even if we can't stop his force, we can stop his consciousness!
Look! There's a strange thing in the middle of Solaris! Isn't that the core?
Let's see how long you can keep up that big attitude! It's all you, Shadow! Understood.
You can do it,
Let's have some fun, Solaris! The present day, the here and now that you've stolen, time to take it back! That was incredible!
Before you say that Sonic doesn't scale, he literally had to break Solaris' armor in order to get to that point. Don't say that, oh my god bro, it didn't literally mean everything. Yes it did. Ian Flint implies Solaris used the power of the emeralds to wreck everything.
Here's a question from the Might of Geburah. The emeralds are said to control and warp time and space, but beyond that they can contest against the power of the stars, which manages parallel worlds and dimensions on its power alone. It has enough power to restore Solaris, a deity that 1. Devours timelines and dimensions, 2. Is a higher/super/beyond dimensional being, and 3. Transcends time according to the 06 script, back to its full power. Can resist mechanisms from Time Eater that obliterates and/or erases color, time, and space, then places things caught in the crossfire in a weird limbo space, Sonic Generations, as well as allow a person to will things like thoughts and ideas into reality, Sonic 06. So, what are the capabilities according to Sega? They sound completely balanced to me and are the ultimate MacGuffins, it seems.
More or less, I mean, a lot of that can be covered in just the idea that the power can bring one's hopes and wishes into reality. So, if you have Sonic who wishes to have the power to stop Eggman, you get Supersonic. If you have Solaris who wishes to wreck everything, you know, that's the power that it grants something of that innate power. So, it might be that, you know, it's kind of the input gets exponentially output. Officially, I don't know what limitation or such is on the Chaos Emeralds. They're kind of the Deus Ex Machina. they do what they need to do for the story.
As the plot dictates. This is what they do.
I mean, they have unlimited power, is kind of like the go-to one.
So there you go. Solaris is going to destroy everything. The entire cosmology. There is no doubts about that. And we need to talk about something else. Solaris is not the strongest thing in the Sonicverse. It's a myth. There are a few games which note more powerful things, such as the power of the stars, which is said to be ultimate power. Eggman says he never imagined that this power was even possible, and he experienced Solaris. He said the Chaos Emeralds and Soul Emeralds can't even compare to that. With it, he says he's unstoppable. And Supersonic beat him. The power of the stars is stronger than Solaris, and Supersonic was just below Solaris in Sonic 06. So for Supersonic to have beaten the Egg Wizard that had the power of the stars in Sonic Rush Adventure, Supersonic and Sonic Rush Adventure would have to be far superior to Supersonic and Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 game. It's basic scaling. And in Sonic Lost World, which happens after that, Eggman basically indicates that the Egg Robo with the planet's energy has power that can't be measured, despite measuring Solaris's and the power of the stars. And Base Sonic beat him.
You never needed Eggman, right? I could have turned this thing off myself.
Sorry about that, Tails. I'll never doubt you again.
It's cool. Oh, and here's something that even Eggman couldn't do. I just reprogrammed his machine to return our world's stolen energy. In your face, Eggman!
I'll be back, Sonic. I'll find another conch, and the Zeti will be mine once again. Only next time, I'll make them stronger. Honey, why isn't my jetpack working?
Maybe because I borrowed the exhaust hose?
Sonic!
Here's your energy back, world. Bon appetit!
Yeah! Hey, Amy. Looks like springtime's come early.
Thanks to you and Tails.
Well, I would have wrapped this up sooner, but, what are you gonna do?
You know, after a day like today, I can enjoy a nap on some fresh green grass.
meaning that Egg Robo is stronger than Solaris and the Egg Wizard. And not only that, the more hilarious thing is that Sonic beat him in base while he was using this robot. And in Sonic Forces, there's Infinite, who's the most powerful enemy Sonic has faced at the time, and Sonic in base beat him.
Pathetic little hedgehog. Even with the Phantom Ruby weakened, I still have enough power to smash you into blue jelly. I'll show you how outclassed you really are.
I'm in a class all my own. Time to put up or shut up, Infinite.
What would you like your epitaph to read? How about, "Here lies the blue buffoon"?
Why not, "Here dozes the masked clown"? Might as well make it for the person who needs one, right?
Done for, Sonic. The Phantom Ruby's energy is recharged. Perish along with your useless friends.
My friends got me this far, and together, we're gonna win!
Friends are nothing but a fleeting illusion. You can count on nobody but yourself.
Your mask can't hide how sad and lonely you are. That Phantom Ruby virtual reality of yours is the real illusion. Here goes, partner! When we join forces, the sky's the limit! Double boost!
Impossible. I cannot be defeated.
Wrong, loser! The things that can't be defeated are heart, soul, and the bonds of friendship. 3 things you and your counterfeit cronies lack.
No, wait. I can still fight.
Huh?
You never fail to surprise me, Sonic. I didn't believe Infinite could lose. Victory will be so much sweeter when I defeat you. Don't think this is over yet, you blue nuisance. My plan just went into overtime.
And then there's Eggman's Death Egg Robot, who Sonic beat in base, that was stronger than Infinite.
We did it! Eggman's army is officially butt-kicked! We won! Come on, now what? Can we ever just win and have that be the end of it?
Look!
Gotcha! The fortress reactor was just a decoy. A true winner always keeps his trump card hidden until the end.
Sonic, what's going on? There aren't less enemies, there's more!
What?
How can there be so many? Confirmed sightings indicate Shadow, Metal Sonic, Zavok, Chaos, Infinite. Thousands of them.
What have you done?
I merely incorporated the Phantom Ruby into this Death Egg robot.
But that means the Phantom Ruby no longer has a vulnerable energy supply. It's an invulnerable ruby?
A good deduction, Tails. This Death Egg robot has... No, I have surpassed Infinite to become the complete and ultimate form. You will be crushed by this Death Egg robot powered by the Phantom Ruby, and in the end, everything will still be just as I planned.
Your plan will end like all your plans do, with you sitting in a pile of busted robot parts wondering how you failed so badly. Let's get him.
He's overclocking the Phantom Ruby! That's insane! No regular tool can damage it now. You're our last chance. Give it your all, Sonic! You'll always be our shining hope!
I know you can do this!
Our fate is in your hands!
Sonic, defeat him!
Go for it, Sonic!
can achieve together. Victory is ours for the taking. Triple boost.
And something I forgot to add about the Phantom Ruby is that Infinite states it is unrivaled, despite having the memories and malice that Eggman put into the Ruby. So now you should have an idea of where Sonic the Hedgehog is in terms of power. I put him at high outer versatile to boundless simply because he scales to and above beings that can destroy the cosmology, which consists of Jungian archetypes and transfinite numbers. And credits to True Scourge 100 or Corrupt Demigod, and Blazing, and High Ground 33, and everyone else who contributed to this scale, because not all of these are my arguments. I got the scaling above Solaris stuff from Corrupt Demigod, and he was a major help. You should subscribe to him, by the way. I'll put his channel in the description. What did you think of this? Do you agree? Do you not? Comment down below in the description. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and I might make a part 2 being more specific on Sonic's feats from Secret Rings, Sonic and the Black Knight, and some of the other games. Well, I'll see you later.